Welcome back to the 90s Rewind. That was Oily Water from Blur, and my guest this evening is Rick Witter from the band Shed 7. Now, Rick, it's been a while since we always say this to people. You know, you were the people that made the decade, but you know, time has passed. 30 years has passed. The grey hairs have started coming in my head, and a lot's happened with yourself. Where is Shed 7 at the moment?
Well, one of them's at home talking to you. Well, we've a few weeks ago we completed our Christmas tour. We generally tour every other year around about Christmas, and it's become affectionately known as Shedcember. And we do that every other year just so that it doesn't become too overbearing. You know, we're quite sensible at realizing that if you're just in the public eye all the time, people do get bored. So, you know, we generally do quite a big UK tour every other year at Christmas, and then in the downtime of the other year we'd essentially just do some festivals through the summer. So because of COVID we had to postpone about a week's worth of the gigs that we were doing last December, so we've just completed those, and that was great. And it was a bit novel touring because we've not done this for a long time, but because we always tour at Christmas, it's freezing and you've always got to, you know, hanker down from the weather. So it was a bit novel going out and playing places like Brighton with the sun shining. It's unusual for us that to play in March. So that was all great. And now we're just looking forward to a run of festivals this summer. We're doing about 12 up and down the country. And whilst we're doing that, we've decided to start trying to write another album, because we did have an album out in 2017 that was called Instant Pleasures. And there was 16 years between Instant Pleasures and the album previously, the Truth Be Told album that came out in 2003, I think that came out. No, 2001, sorry. So yeah, 16 years between those two albums. So incredibly, already it's been 5 years since the last album. I don't know where that's gone. So we've decided we're going to try and write another album, because Instant Pleasures did do okay for us. So we're going to spend the year trying to write, and fingers crossed, if things go to plan, we'll have something to release next year at some point.
Well, I guarantee we'll be playing that on Ross Stereo. I can't play it on the 90s. It's always really a struggle for me when I get guests on and go, well, we've got new material. I go, well, I can play that on the Late Show, but that's on Sunday evening. So,
yeah,
but it will be.
Play it you want. You can play it wherever you want.
Okay. Now you're not just touring with the band; you're also doing acoustic nights, and you DJ a lot as well, don't you?
Well, I did pre-COVID. Things have changed slightly since COVID came along. Yeah, me and Paul did a couple of one-off acoustic gigs last weekend. We don't tend to do many of them, but if the right kind of offer comes in, we'll consider it. But it's always great to be able to go and play your songs stripped right back, because it proves that they are good songs. If you can just play a song on an acoustic guitar and a voice, almost like you sat around a campfire. And we are very lucky because lots of people love to come and just sing their hearts out to us. So you can just hear the voices a lot more when it is just an acoustic guitar, and it is just a huge sing-along. So we had a great weekend doing that last weekend. No plans as yet to do any more of that, because we are, as I say, we're doing festivals, and I think it's important that we kind of slightly go under the radar a bit while we're writing these new songs, so that when we do eventually come back at some point next year, we can do it with a little bit more of a bang, rather than, oh, here they are again. You know,
is there also a little bit of a sense of, you know, we are, as I mentioned, we're 30 years on now, you know, that going out, that incessant touring, that being out on the road, on the bus, new venue, new city, you know, late night, you know, probably getting up at goodness knows what time in the daytime. Is there a point where you just go, you know what, I want to be sensible, I'm going to lift the veil on rock and roll a little bit? You're having your kitchen done at the moment. Does normal life come back to you and go, you know what, actually, we want a bit of the balance here?
Well, we're lucky because we've had that for a long time, because of the fact since 2007 we've toured every other year and then done some festivals the year after in the summer. Then we have had enough downtime. I mean, everyone in the band does other things. It's not just Seven, they've got other side projects going on regardless of what it is. But yeah, there's other ways for us to kind of live a life, so to speak. But it is ace to be able to, you know, take the cover off the car and get it speed down the M1. You know what I mean? It's a great thing to be able to just not rely so much on one thing in life. But we aren't all nearly 50, you know, so we've certainly been around the block.
And still going very, very strong. It's been an absolute delight to talk to you tonight, Rick. And we haven't finished because you've got another song choice to come now. You've chosen the Long Pigs to finish off. Why in particular?
Well, again, an incredible band that didn't really get the dues. People do look back now, so many years later, very affectionately at the Long Pigs. They were just great. They supported us as well, and we got on really well with them. And it was a pleasure to watch them from the side of the stage. And there was 3 or 4 or 5 brilliant songs off their debut album. I think it's called "The Sun Is Off and Out," isn't it? But I chose the obvious one off this one because this is just a great. Well, it was a toss up between this, Jesus Christ, or On and On. But I just thought for your lovely listeners, they can listen to this, and this is the Long Pigs with "She Said."
It's an absolutely brilliant track, and it's been brilliant to talk to you, Rick. Best of luck with the festival shows, and of course with December when it comes round. This is the Long Pigs with "She Said." We'll see you soon.
Great. Well.